Hey y'all, this is Kirk, the owner of Wellspring Landscape Services, and I'm sending you this recording and email to give you a heads up in case you haven't been paying attention. We have an Arctic freeze coming our way. I think that's probably just a fancy phrase for saying we got some really cold weather coming our way. It's going to be pretty cold. It's going to get down in the teens, which is going to be damaging for sure to some of your plants. So I want to give you a list of things to do before the freeze get here. So I believe the freeze is going to get here kind of Thursday night, Friday, into Saturday. It may not even get above freezing on Friday. Of course, it's subject to change, but a couple of reminders. So make sure you are covering your water spigots on the outside of your house. You can buy those styrofoam kind of giant cups that fit on them and strap on at Home Depot or Lowe's, or worst case, wrap them in a towel, put some duct tape around them, and that'll irrigate them really well. I'm sorry, insulate them really well. Do that. Also, your backflow. We've talked about this a lot in the past. Your backflow preventer if you have an irrigation system. Now, it's either going to be in the ground in a box near your hot water heater. I can't talk today. You're near your water meter. And it'll be in a box with a green lid on it, and you pull it up, and there's this funky looking brass contraption with all these things poking out of it. That's a good description. If it's in the ground, you're good. You should be good. If it's above ground, then it's typically by your foundation. There'll be a piece of PVC that comes up. Where's my finger? Comes up. And then it'll go across horizontal to the ground, and your backflow preventer will be there. It'll be brass, and again, a lot of things poking out of it, probably wrapped in insulated tape. And then the PVC will go back in the ground, so it forms this little loop like that. You can Google these, and you'll see what they look like. And that really needs to be insulated. You can buy a big insulated sack that slides down over it at Home Depot or Lowe's. Sometimes those sacks aren't the right size. But again, worst case scenario, you can get some blankets and put over it and tape it up real good. Or if it has valves on the side, you can actually open the valves and drain the water out of it. But when those break, it can get kind of expensive, several $100s to replace those. So you have those two things to protect. You also have plants that'll need to be covered, especially if you have plants that were newly planted. They'll be particularly tender. You have annuals that may need to be covered up. Any of your older trees or shrubs are probably going to be okay. But any of the newer stuff or the more tender plants, the smaller plants or plants that you notice have been freeze damaged in the past, those will need to be covered as well. In addition to that, bring all your potted plants into like your garage or a covered patio, cover them up with blankets would be best, and protect those. And then for your house, if you're worried about pipes bursting in your house, you can leave your cupboards under your sinks open so that the hot air from your heater gets up underneath there and helps keep them from freezing. You can leave your faucets dripping a little bit. That'll help keep them from freezing as well. And then those are good steps to take as well. And then lastly, bring your pets in. Hopefully this goes without saying, but it's always worth repeating. Cats, dogs, anything like that, even if they're normally outside pets, make sure they come in because it's going to get cold. Teens in Central Texas is really, really cold. And so we'll expect so there'll be some people who have broken pipes. There'll be people who have dead plants. So the more you can do ahead of time, the better. So there's your warning. Go and cover everything up. Watch this a couple times and remind yourself. And if you have any questions, call the office. And if not, stay warm, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.